Hello, everyone. This is Siddharth Damber from Chicago Arthritis and Regenerative Medicine. Uncertainty. We have a lot of uncertainty in life right now, a ton. I think probably everyone in this country and possibly most of the world is really uncertain about what's going on right now, whether it's because of COVID, whether it's because of economic challenges, whether it's because of the election right now. I mean, unbelievable amounts of uncertainty and lack of clarity in terms of how we proceed, how we move forward, and how we live. So a couple of things I want to talk about. You know, here at Chicago Arthritis and Regenerative Medicine, we're focused on your musculoskeletal health to get you to optimize those problematic issues in order to maximize your life. And I think uncertainty plays a role in that. Here are my thoughts on really how to handle uncertainty, because I think it's very challenging on a life standpoint, and it's very challenging from a medical standpoint as well. From a life standpoint, I think there's a few things that I think of that really help me to put uncertainty into perspective. First and foremost is gratitude, right? You know, there's so many challenges in the world right now. And when you think about all the problems, I think you also have to think about all the good things you have in life as well. I know for me, without a doubt that, you know, we have some family in other parts of the world, and even here, family and friends that are having some medical issues associated with COVID. But I also think about how much gratitude I have for the family that is still healthy, whether it's my parents, my in-laws, and certainly my wife and my daughter as well. Ton of gratitude for that. And I think another part of that is also, you know, are you able to maintain some sort of healthy routine every single day? And when I think of that, you know, I think one of the challenges with COVID is that we all had a certain type of lifestyle, and suddenly COVID kind of throws all of that off. And super hard, because if you were living a healthy lifestyle, suddenly having to transition to something different is a challenge. And I think as much as you can stay in some sort of routine, I think it helps with the uncertainty, because at least that aspect of life has some level of consistency. So for me, you know, that certainly includes making sure I wake up early every day, work out first thing in the morning, get ready on time to take my daughter to school, then get to work, make sure I've had, you know, a healthy breakfast, kind of done my mental routine as well. And, you know, I have a checklist of other things that I'm trying to do every single day to make sure that I'm staying on top of my sort of life routine. And I think as much routine as you can sort of build into your day, even when things are uncertain, I think it at least gives you some level of confidence and consistency that really helps to sort of take on the day and take on life. And then the last thing is, you know, from a life standpoint, you know, I come at life a lot from an immigrant mentality, just because that's what I am. I moved here when I was 2 years old. And without a doubt, part of that is an attitude of having to earn it every single day. And to me, that means not taking things for granted, not being, not sleeping on things, not being inconsistent, really trying to take that attitude of having to prove myself, and earn it every single day. And I think that takes a world of uncertainty and makes me realize that I can't control 99% of the variables in my life, but I can certainly control my attitude and my perspective and how I take it on. So to me, from a life standpoint, that's the things that I think are really most important. From a work standpoint, you know, here, you know, as a physician and at work, I mean, every single day we're dealing with uncertainty with diagnoses, uncertainty with treatment, uncertainty with additional variables that patients bring in as well. And realistically, it is a very systematic approach that you need to take. So for example, assessment, making a decision, reassessing based on how somebody responds to treatment, and then making a new decision, and just sort of rinse and repeating that again and again and again. having a certain amount of rigor and focus to make sure that each one of those steps is getting done properly and making sure that we're on top of all the details. I think that helps with uncertainty because you can't control you can't control really most of the variables, but you can control your actions and how you analyze and assess and then reassess and handle that. I think the second one is also focusing on safety, right? I think patient safety, we talk about patient safety is always first and foremost, right? That's something that we always emphasize in medicine. But so important when you're talking about uncertainty, whether you're talking about medical uncertainty, life uncertainty, that if you're first and foremost making sure that your downside and risk is covered and that you understand that really helps when it comes to taking on uncertainty. And then I think, it helps to have a mental attitude that the way that you're treating patients is the same way you would treat your own family members. And I think that's important because medicine can unfortunately become too assembly-like. And that's a terrible thing. Medicine should not be a algorithmic process, right? Like you can have algorithms to sort of guide you or principles to guide you. But if it becomes too algorithmic where everyone gets pushed through the same sort of algo, that's a problem because that's not how you would treat your own family members. And you should have the attitude that how you treat any individual patient is the same way that you would treat your own parents, your own siblings, your own wife, your own friends, that you would give them the same care and attention and consideration and personalization. And I think that helps because I think for individual patients, if you're worried about your medical health and you're worried about, hey, am I getting the best care? Am I getting the right decisions? You want to make sure that the care that you're getting is one that is considered and thoughtful. And if you're not getting that, that's not the right person to be pursuing treatment with. And then the last is, I think, having an attitude that you can adapt to any circumstances and provide value at any moment as well. And I think that's important because the one thing we know certainly about medicine and healthcare is that it's always changing. As an example with COVID-19, reality is we know some stuff, but there's a lot we don't know. And every day, we get challenging questions and you have to think about making the right decisions. A couple examples of that would be, we have patients who needed procedures done and may have been traveling recently. It's not an easy conversation to tell somebody, well, you need to reschedule because our guidelines are kind of wishy-washy, but I think the right thing to do is to isolate to make sure you're safe first and foremost. For your safety, for our safety, for other patients' safety, that's not an easy decision, but it's the right principled decision. I think when it comes to folks who are on different medications, it's the same thing. How do you make a challenging decision that requires a flexible mindset to make sure that people are staying healthy and safe and you can guide them through, shepherd them through this kind of uncertain time. An adaptable approach that requires an attitude of constantly offering value regardless of the circumstances. We've had an issue recently where our EMR was a little bit hiccupy, not exactly stable for the last couple of days. It's fixed now. But that was a challenge, right? Because you had to really figure things out on the fly and really draw from, your memory and other kind of resources to make sure that you could take care of people correctly. And you make it happen because that's what we do. We make it happen. That's what we do, right? That's what we do. We figure it out and we add value no matter what the circumstances are. That has to be the attitude. I think uncertainty is a challenge in life. But that's what life is. And that's what, as humans, we're made to adapt to these kind of circumstances. And I think if you take the attitude of gratitude, having a routine, really trying to earn it every single day, focusing on safety, making sure you're constantly being regimented in terms of your decision-making, and always trying to add value, I think you can get through uncertainty in times when it's very challenging. Wonderful. Well, thank you for your time. As a reminder, we do this twice per week, a live stream Mondays and Wednesdays. And until next time, have a good day and live well. Bye-bye.